If you've been sending cold emails for a while and the only responses you got were people asking you to take them off your list, then you need to stop what you're doing right now and change your strategy. The world doesn't need another annoying inbox spammer. And to not be one, you need to write emails so attractive your prospects would thank you for emailing them and ask you for your calendar link. And so if you want to write such emails, then watch this video till the end, because I'm going to share you the exact examples, tips, strategies, and ultimately guidelines you can apply today to make your emails more attractive and ultimately start generating more responses and booking more calls with your target customers. And if you want the document I referenced in this video with all of the examples, tips, strategies, and visuals here, then make sure to check the description below, because I'm going to link it there. And other than that, let's cut to the chase and enjoy. Just telling your prospect about your prospects about your offer or service won't cut it most of the time. Your prospects are receiving 10 to 40 plus cold emails a week, and for you to get their interest, you need to have an irresistible demand generation offer. It doesn't mean that you have to change your product or service. Most of the time, it's more about repositioning your existing offer in a way that would work on cold traffic. So here's an example graphic I put together. Let's say you pitch your product to potential customers. If you just pitch your product, maybe you get, I don't know, 0 to 5% sales, closed deals there. Now, let's say you take your product, but you reposition it as an offer. Then you can increase basically your interest rate and your deal closing rate by 10 to 20%. As an example, then you review the data analytics, you see what people mention on calls, what they want, and you create another version of the offer. And this time you got a 25% plus close rate. Basically, you get much higher interest and much higher close rate. So I want to show you an example of how this looks like. So it's easy to say this, but I want to show it practically. So imagine you're an e-commerce marketing manager that working for a brand that has over 1,000 reviews on Trustpilot and 3.9 out of 5 seller rating. So basically, and you see this emails. Email number 1 is just a product pitch. For example, let's say your name is John. So let me just correct this here. So, hey John. We built a tool that helps e-commerce companies like company name generate more reviews on Trustpilot without overpaying for their paid plans. Would you like to try it out for free? Now, this email, it can still work, and it worked. We sent variations of this email with one of our clients, and it worked. But the question is it working the best? And so, having reviewed this, we tried redoing this as an offer. So take a look at this example. Hey John, we noticed that company name has a 3.9 rating on Trustpilot, and given your position, I wanted to reach out. And again, we can even mention their position. Since you're a marketing manager, I wanted to reach out. We built a tool that helps e-commerce brands with over 1,000 reviews get 10 to 30% more verified reviews each month, guaranteed, by leveraging X, Y, and Z features that Trustpilot doesn't offer natively. Mind if I share a 3-minute video explaining how this would work for your brand? P.S. We recently helped case study brand generate over 1,000 additional reviews in just 60 days while saving them $7,000 a year on their Trustpilot paid plans. And based on my research, I believe we can do the same for you. Now, which email do you think would generate more positive responses and more demo requests? It's obvious. Now, it doesn't mean that this always works this way. It depends what works in your market, but I want to show you how you can take your product and reposition it as an offer, because this typically works better by cold email. So now let's talk about how to write good cold email copy. And the short answer to this is you want to pick proven cold email copy template you like. It writes several variations of this. And so I prepared a couple of templates that you can use basically as plus examples of how this would look like, so you can model and adjust it for your specific case. So cold email template number 1. You start with intro plus reason for reaching out. You offer basically your offer or your solution. You add proof or risk reversal. You add a call to action, PS, and then unsubscribe note. By the way, in cold emails, don't use unsubscribe links. Because any link would reduce your deliverability. Just use plain text emails. And just just use this, for example, line. If this isn't relevant, just let me know. I won't reach out again. So how this looks like. Example one is like, hey, John, so you're responsible for marketing at the company name. Thought it makes sense to reach out. We create the tool that helps e-commerce marketing managers like yourself hear your value proposition, like optimize ad budgets, pricing, and expenses in real time without things they don't want. Like, for example, without having to wait for a delayed P&L, a profit and loss statement. Interested to hear more? Yes, we do have a free plan. Our paid plan costs less than like renowned competitor they're likely using. While offering the same core features. So this is template number one. And again, you can rewrite this. Like this is an example to get your juices flowing, so to say. Next, cold email template number two. Intro, reason for reaching out, agitate the problem, offer a solution, like solution or offer, proof, risk reversal, CTA, PS, unsubscribe note. Hey, John, so you're using a competitor tool and thought it makes sense to reach out. You're probably tired of X, Y, and Z, common pain points. We create the tool that solves these problems without things they don't want, or while giving you additional benefits. Mind if I send over a quick 2-minute video explaining how that works? P.S. Also saw you're into modern tools like X, Y, and Z, so thought you'd like to discover a solution made for 2025, not 2010. So if this isn't relevant, just let me know and I won't reach out. So you can write essentially different variations of the intro, offer, proof, risk reversal, CTA, PS section. However, I would recommend starting with one great, irresistible cold email. Like you know what I'm talking about. Your product, when you have defined your offer already, your product, your offer, like there is a value proposition your customers want, especially if you have paying clients, if you have case studies, you know what is the biggest thing they want, or at least you think you know. And so you want to make your offer irresistible here. So just create this variation, then rewrite other variations by changing variables so you can find the variation that works the most. Now, in the beginning, I recommend enabling open rates, unlike common advice right now in 2025, because you want to understand if you're actually landing in the inbox. So if you're getting below 50% open rate, now in some markets it can be slightly lower if you're reaching out like to a high enterprise, but overall, like you want to get above 50% open rate. So if you're getting below this, I would just test different subject lines, different intro lines. So this is an intro line, for example. This is what shows it as the preview text in the email. When they just preview it before clicking on it in the inbox. Then you want to test your offer because it's the highest impact variable. Then if you know if your offer is it's already very tight, what you can do is you test your call to actions. You can send more info, like instead of requesting a call or asking, hey, would you want more info? Instead of asking them to book a demo, you just send, hey, mind if I send over this white paper, more information, quick video, reply yes to receive this asset, whatever. So make it easier for them to say yes. So a few other tips for creating high-performing cold email campaigns. You want to use plain text emails until they respond. No links, even in signature. Keep your sequences short. No 7 to 12 step sequences. You don't need that. Most people blacklist you, and your emails would not get delivered. Just keep it short, and you can re-enroll them a few months later if they don't respond. So 4 steps max. In many cases, just use 3. Keep at minimum 3-day delay between follow-up emails. Test sending at least 400 prospects before disabling variants. So here's an example. The more the better, but again, it depends on how big is your lead list. But 400 at minimum, I would say, is starting to get statistically significant. So for faster results, instead of enabling 12 variants at the time of email 1, email 2, email 3, I recommend just running 2 or to 4 variants at once. Once they get to around 400 emails sent, 400, 500, then you can disable low performance and start testing new ones. So this way you can test this. Track open rates in the beginning to ensure you're landing in the inbox. Test different subject lines, intro lines. Disable open rate once you're hitting basically 50% plus opens on your emails. This will give an additional deliverability boost because open rates, to measure open rates or click open rates and also clicks, they put a pixel in your email, and some providers, they automatically, if they find any HTML, they drop it into updates folder or into spam. So Disabling open rates would boost your deliverability quite a bit. Make the CTA more valuable, low friction. So quick video, lead magnet, white paper, reply yes to receive, etc. If direct call to actions, like direct to offer call to actions don't work, then you can try lead magnets. And more on this I'm going to cover in a separate video. So you always want to create multiple variations of the messaging and see which one works best. So over time, you can see which offers, call to actions, messaging angles work best than others, personalizations, and your campaigns will become 2, 3, or even 5 times more effective. And here's an example from one of our campaigns that we run. And here you can see that some variations, they generate more positive responses than basically the other ones. Ignore the open rates. We basically, we tested, I think, for a few days, a month, or like for a week total in a month, but we got quite a bit of responses and positive responses here. So this is the main metric. So here you can see some variants, they generate more positive response than others. Here, for example, this one generated 0, this one 5, this one 8 positive responses. Step 3, as you can see here. So this is how you can test. And typically your email 1 and email 2 would be the highest performing variants. So if you see later on that step like email 3, email 4 performing better, test next adding them as email 1, and you probably can get quite a big boost. So responses you can expect from cold email. Overall, your response rate and quality of responses will depend on your list, offer, and messaging angles. But as a rule of thumb, you should aim to get above a 1% positive response rate here. Now, if you get 2%, 3%, or higher, great. But don't start competing on vanity metrics like open rates and response rate, or even positive responses. The main thing is you book calls from this. So keep the North Star in mind, so to say. But I just want to say that you want to aim for at least 1% response rate, because it's a great rule of thumb. Unless you have an extremely specific list and a no-brainer offer, the majority of responses will be people saying they're not interested, it's not the time, or just asking to remove them from the list, which is fine because it's the nature of the game. However, if you follow the guidelines I outlined here, every day you should be receiving a handful of responses like this. Like, hey, please send more info, how this works, what's the pricing is. I wanted to follow up and let you know I scheduled the time for like Wednesday or whatever day they scheduled in. Apologies for the delay. I'm still interested in the call. I'm out of office next week, but can we schedule something for this dates? So essentially, this is how this would look like when you structure this correctly. Cool. Next, how to write good LinkedIn outreach copy. Best tips is just keep your connection request blank, because like if your profile is good, your connection you would have a higher acceptance rate, and you would be able to send them messages. Rewrite your cold emails for LinkedIn. Make them shorter, more concise. No need for signature, unsubscribe link, all this stuff. You can also send links in your messages if you want to, because it's on LinkedIn. You can prioritize the best prospects and reach out to high quality ones, as I mentioned, because of the LinkedIn limits. You want to prioritize, and then you want to space out your messages. So you don't want to send every few days like on cold email. Here, for example, you can send them a first message like the same day or the day after, but the next message send in like 5 to 10 days, and then the next message you can send around in 10 to 14 days. So space it out. Here, people are like not as active on LinkedIn as on email. And overall, if you have a great LinkedIn profile and you also post quality content, your LinkedIn outreach will perform way better than if you use a LinkedIn for outreach alone. So just keep this in mind, invest in your profile, and this would get you higher results. Plus, you will get quite a bit of content engagement, probably quite a few inbound leads from that. Want to watch the full training going over how we book 10 to 40 plus qualified demos a month for B2B SaaS companies using our go-to-market strategy? I'll put it somewhere here on the screen. I still need to figure out how, but in any case, yeah, you can check the description. I'll link it there as well. Just a quick note, it's a longer one, but it might be one of the most valuable and useful videos you'll find on this topic. So keep this in mind.